Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back here to the launch pad and our live launch coverage of CRS-23. We have patched in the mission control audio, so we'll listen in as we await to hear the countdown. Thanks for bearing with me there for a couple minutes as we got things organized here, but we are live, we are here, and we are expecting for SpaceX and NASA to go live in about 5 minutes or so. With their live coverage, so we're waiting to see them. Tonight's targeted liftoff time is 3:15 a.m. Eastern, so it is a nice middle of the night launch for us all here. We're currently sitting at about 28 minutes until liftoff from pad 39A. Today we're watching the first Falcon 9 launch in just under 2 months. We're watching booster 1061 take its fourth flight off of pad 39A at the Kennedy Space Center. Today's cargo is a CRS mission, so a cargo resupply mission to the International Space Station. Last one we saw of this was in June, I believe it was on the 4th. Carried a bunch of cargo, but has also carried the two new IROSA solar arrays, not satellites, solar arrays there. No solar arrays on board tonight, but a bunch of cargo and a bunch of science and research on its way. It will rendezvous with the ISS at a 400-kilometer low Earth orbit. They are targeting tomorrow. Now, weather has been on and off all day. It's been a 40% go, no go kind of throughout today. They've been watching it. We've been hearing from Marcus, who's in the chat, that is a little bit of weather in the region. So hopefully we will hear that they are ready for today's launch and we'll be able to get a clear window in that weather. But if not, they do have another opportunity tomorrow, nice and early, at 3:27 a.m. I believe it is. So we will be with you for that if there is that region. Tonight, the first stage is going to land on the autonomous drone ship. The brand new one, a shortfall of Gravitas, is now out awaiting for the booster to return home after its fourth launch. So first mission for the new drone ship. Excited to see how it performs. Obviously, there's no fairings, as this is very much a similar capsule to what we see for the crew missions. Just a little bit less windows. Doesn't have the emergency thrusters like it does for the crew, but can carry a lot of cargo there. This is the, as I said, the first mission for the new drone ship. Second mission for the actual cargo dragon itself. This is one of the second generation cargo dragons. It will be the second launch with that will be using the robotic arm of the ISS in 2021. And it's the third SpaceX launch under the new CRS-2 contract. So this is their second contract. They completed the first, and now they're progressing along here. But we're going to quickly say just hello to everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys waiting. Know we had Thomas in here earlier, FC, Jeffrey, Aaron, Marcus is down in Florida. We got Smart Towel as well. So let us know in the chat where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from that. As always, if you have questions, you can type those in the chat and we will be answering them as well. And we will be answering those live. And it does look like SpaceX has started their stream and has patched in the NASA feed as they are preparing for that live coverage here to begin. So we're keeping an eye on that, and we'll patch it in once there's some live views of the Falcon sitting out on the pad for us here tonight. Yeah, all their feeds have switched over to getting ready, so just waiting for one of them to begin coverage, and we will patch that in. But let us know where you are watching from. Ask TOP, is there pizza on board? I do not believe there's pizza on board. They will be sending them up some food, and normally when they send these up, they are able to send up some goodies that they don't normally get on the station for it, but a bunch of research payloads and diagnostics equipment that are on board that I'm sure they will dive deeper into to a much better level than I could. So I'll save that for their stream so you guys get that accurate information here. But it will the Cargo Dragon will separate from the Falcon 9 about 12 minutes into flight. After that, it will use its thrusters to adjust its orbit and take its journey to the International Space Station. Currently, they're planning to dock with the ISS at 11 a.m. Eastern on August 29th. So that is tomorrow morning. just over a 20, well, maybe about a 32-hour, 29-hour journey. And then once it's docked, it'll be there for a few days. It's going to actually spend about 2 months on the station when it will come home on October 28th, 2021, when it will splash down. Mission Control seems like they've been pretty quiet here this evening, but we will keep listening in to hear if they say anything, and we will go from there. But let's see if we've got any questions coming in here. Arizona, the place where we get more sun than Zach, apparently. A little bit. It better be in there. It's tasty. It's day here. Awesome. This is a Cargo Dragon mission. Yes, it is, Smart Towel. This is Cargo Dragon carrying the cargo resupply mission. No crew. The next crewed mission with Inspiration 4 will be targeting September 15th, and we're very excited that for the coverage we're going to be able to get you guys of Inspiration 4. We've been working with the Inspiration 4 team and the SpaceX team on confirming everything this week, and if you're in the behind the scenes, you've had a little bit of an idea, but we're so excited. We can't even believe the access that we'll hopefully be able to be showing with you guys, and some other projects that'll be happening while we're down in Florida. But if you want to help us out with that, take a moment, check out the GoFundMe linked below, or super chats or super stickers are a great way to help with that as well. But we are very excited for what is coming next and what we'll be able to share with you guys here in the near future.
Dragon is in countdown. Falcon 9 is in startup.
So they're playing their intro here. So that is a very good sign. So we're going to patch that in here for you guys in just a brief moment. Now this is a NASA mission, so it's another one of those of our favorite that means it is in 720p. So that's the highest they're streaming, even on the SpaceX feed. And we are going to get to enjoy that. So let's listen in.
Take a look at your screen right now for this magnificent view of SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket and Cargo Dragon. It is stacked and ready at Launch Complex 39A to lift off in just about 20 minutes. The Dragon spacecraft will fly about 4,800 pounds of crew supplies and science, including an experiment that could change the way we treat osteoporosis. Dragon is also delivering some brine shrimp. More on that soon. Thank you for joining us in the very early hours of this Saturday morning. I'm Megan Cruz with NASA Communications, live from Kennedy Space Center here in Florida. Today's launch at 3:37 a.m. Eastern Time is SpaceX's 23rd cargo resupply mission for NASA to the International Space Station. And we are again simulcasting this live show on NASA TV and on SpaceX's webcast. Let's bring in Andy Tran now live from SpaceX's headquarters in Hawthorne, California. Good morning, Andy. It's great to have you with us.
Good morning, Megan. It's really exciting to be here covering today's mission in partnership with NASA. It's the third Dragon flight to the space station this year, and also the third cargo resupply mission with our upgraded Dragon. Now, this particular spacecraft debuted at the end of last year for CRS-21, and it's the first reuse of the upgraded cargo vehicle. Now, following a successful launch, this Dragon will be joining the Crew 2 vehicle Endeavour, currently on orbit and attached to the International Space Station. It's going to be cool to see two Dragons once again docked to the International Space Station. Now, looking ahead for the rest of the year, we have two more planned missions for Dragon before year-end. That's including both crew and cargo missions. Now, let's talk a little bit about Falcon 9. It's a two-stage rocket designed and manufactured by SpaceX for the reliable and safe transport of people and payloads into Earth orbit and beyond. That is what you see on screen right now. The vehicle stands 70 meters tall. That's greater than the wingspan of a 747 aircraft. Just before our program started at the T-minus 35-minute mark, our team gave the go to begin loading propellant on the vehicle. Taking a closer look at the rocket, the bottom two-thirds of the vehicle is the first stage. Its objective is to accelerate the vehicle through the Earth's atmosphere to space and then separate from the rest of the rocket. Now, this is the fourth flight for today's first stage, which actually previously supported both the Crew 1 and Crew 2 missions for NASA. As usual, we'll be attempting to recover our first stage, and we're excited to be using our brand new drone ship. There it is on screen. It's named a Shortfall of Gravitas. For those keeping count, if we do successfully land a Falcon 9 today, this will be the 90th landing of an orbital class rocket. Above the first stage is the second stage. It has a single Merlin vacuum or MVAC engine, which ignites after the first stage separates. The second stage is what will carry Dragon to its intended orbit, allowing the spacecraft to eventually rendezvous with the International Space Station. And speaking of the Dragon, it's sitting right on top of the rocket. Dragon was designed from the beginning to be reused, and this new version of Dragon is designed for up to 5 flights. As mentioned earlier, this is going to be the second flight for this particular Dragon, and today's mission actually marks the 10th reuse of a Dragon on a CRS mission to date. As for cargo, today we'll be delivering more than 4,800 pounds of cargo to the space station, including critical materials to support dozens of science and research investigations that will occur on board the orbiting laboratory. To this day, Dragon remains the only spacecraft currently flying that's capable of transporting significant amounts of cargo to and from the Earth. We'll go into a little bit more detail on some of that research later in today's broadcast, and we'll discuss how Dragon is actually enhancing the research capabilities of the International Space Station. But for now, I'll send it back to you, Megan.
All right, thanks, Andy. And now I want to bring in Joshua Santora. He's also with NASA Communications. Joshua, how's it looking so far?
Technically, things are going well. Weather is a story that just keeps getting worse, unfortunately. So we opened the show with a situation that had us at about a 60% chance of violating, specifically to the cumulus cloud rule. But since our show has begun, we've had a couple other issues pop up. So we're now tracking concerns. And if we want to pull up a weather graphic here, this will show you what we had at the open of the show. We also are tracking now the attached anvil cloud rule and surface electric field rule. So we're adding things to the list. Not a great scenario to be in, but we are still fueling, and so we're still marching towards T0, hoping that things will clear up. We've seen situations like this clear up in the past, so fingers crossed going forward. Appreciate the folks over at Space Force, Space Launch Delta 45, specifically our launch weather officer, Brian Sizik, supporting us. Again, we'll continue to track that, but that is something that we just can't control. The things that we can control are going really well, which started at T-minus 35 minutes with the fueling of the first stage. We're about to start the fueling of the second stage at about T-minus 16 minutes. And then jumping ahead, we would have T-minus 7 minutes would be the Falcon 9 engine, pre-launch engine chill. T-minus 5 minutes would mark the Dragon transitioning to internal power for terminal count. In the final minutes, we'd expect to hear calls for propellant tanks pressurized for flight, and the SpaceX launch director verifying the team is go for launch. So our liftoff is still targeted for 3:37:23 Eastern time. That time is so precise because we do have a single second in order to rendezvous with space station, and that's why the weather kind of is what it is situation where when we get to T0, if the weather's not good, we cannot fly. We'll have to try again another day, which we do have an attempt available for us tomorrow morning if the teams can recycle in time for that. Docking would be targeted for tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time, with coverage picking up at 9:30 Eastern time tomorrow morning. So, Megan, like I said, technically it's been a smooth countdown, nice and quiet. Weather-wise, not so much, but we will stay close to those details as they come in, and we'll hear more from that in just a minute. Megan, back to you.
Joshua, thank you so much. I know you're going to stay on top of it, but for those watching at home, again, he just said, please keep your fingers crossed, so hopefully we can have a launch in just about 15 minutes, it looks like. So with this time that I have left, I do want to start talking about the science flying to the station today.
So they're going to show a little bit about the science that's on board here, so we'll keep that on. Well, let's see if they turn the music off.
U.S. National Laboratory, launching on SpaceX's 23rd Commercial Resupply Services mission. Moreover, these projects will be supporting the validation of the Faraday Research Facility, a new commercial research facility operated by Proxops that is flying on this mission and will provide additional avenues of experimentation for future investigators. Specifically, the Girl Scouts of Citrus, in conjunction with Space Kids Global, will launch 3 different student-led investigations, all evaluating the characteristics of living organisms in low Earth orbit. One experiment will examine microgravity's effects on ant behavior. Another will look at plant growth in space. And the last will explore how brine shrimp move and behave in the low Earth orbit environment. A team of researchers from Houston Methodist Research Institute is also launching an investigation on this mission that will utilize the Faraday Research Facility. This team has a long and exciting history of space-based R&D, in areas ranging from nanofluidics to drug delivery technology development, rodent research, and advanced materials. These research projects have led the team to its latest investigation that will aid in the development of a tunable drug delivery implant. The implant can be remotely controlled to release specific amounts of drug, providing individualized treatment for patients on Earth. These are only a few of the ISS National Lab sponsored projects launching on SpaceX CRS-23. Research sponsored by the National Lab aims to bring value to our nation and drive a robust market in low Earth orbit. To learn more about all investigations sponsored by the ISS National Lab flying on this mission, please visit our mission overview page at issnationallab.org.
Wow, some really cool stuff there. But let's chat more about one of the Girl Scout experiments, because I think it's amazing that we have kids sending science to space. I've got my mask on now because I'd like to introduce you to Anna Claire Beaton. Anna Claire, can you tell everyone right now how old you are?
I'm 8 years old.
That is amazing. I mean, how does it feel to be here? You might watch a rocket launch today with your science experiment. How do you feel?
Amazing.
Tell me why you feel so amazing. I know you love science and you love space.
I just like watching rockets launch into space on TV, but I thought it would be even cooler to watch it in person.
Let me tell you a secret it is. It's so much cooler to watch it in person. So I see you have a replica of your science experiment here. Can you tell everyone what you're studying?
I'm studying ants to see if they can still tunnel. And right now they're just moving along, trying to get used to the gel before they go up to space.
Yeah, and that gel is kind of their food and water and everything they'll need to survive. And then this is going to go up to the space station where you're going to see pictures of them every day? Yeah, and what are you going to be looking for? To see if they're still moving all right? That's cool. And then again, tell me about, how this opportunity even came about. It's through your Girl Scout troop, right? So they said, hey, can you pitch a science experiment? How did that happen?
I heard my mom told me about the project, and I just wanted to do it so bad. So my mom printed out the papers, and I started doing the instructions.
Yeah, and I know you love ants. You have an ant farm at home, so this is a perfect opportunity for you, and I'm so happy for you. Thank you, Anna Claire.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, so Anna Claire's experiment was loaded onto Dragon only 21 hours ago. Here's video of what we call that late load. Each person is carefully handling a time-sensitive experiment that needed to be packed into Dragon as close to launch as possible. You see them there. They're all in the appropriate gear to carefully move each of the experiments into there. Again, this is a very, demanding operation that they need to do, again, to make sure that those science experiments are safe up there. And Dragon's design really helps us facilitate as much science as possible. Andy, do you mind telling us about the Extend the Lab feature?
So they're going to go deeper into some of those things, but we want to answer a couple of your questions here. Marcus in the Discord is going, not the ants! But we'll see what happens. It's kind of a neat little experiment, and it's cool that SpaceX is really getting to open that door and opportunity for younger people. I'm 25, and I'm excited for what we're going to get to do while we're at Kennedy Space Center. She's literally part of a launch and sending up science, and she's 8, and I can't imagine the excitement, but also exhaustion. It is 3:30 in the morning, and they are there. I'd like to point out on your screen right now, kind of right below me, you can see kind of some checklists on their big screen in Mission Control Headquarters there. And if you looked at it, there was a bunch of red, and now we're seeing on it some radar. So they definitely are tracking a number of things that are no-goes. As you can see there, there's at least 3 that are red. There was a 4th a minute ago. Now it's 3. And it looks like there's 1 yellow one as well. So we are keeping an eye on that as they count down, and hopefully the weather will clear here. Let's listen back in as we reach that T-minus 10-minute mark.
Happens to the science once it arrives at space station.
They're still talking about the science, so we're going to keep going. I know we saw a question from Aaron here. What do you think about the cube-shaped robots on the ISS? They are awesome, or no? Yeah, they're really cool. If you haven't seen them yet, They're these little cubes. They're about this big. And they almost have like their own like thrusters or gimbals that they can move themselves about the station and do their own science. And they're really fascinating. We'll see if we can maybe see one in one of these video shots here. But they've been doing some testing on what those could be for future exploration on the longer missions. That's not it. That's something else. But for on longer missions to the moon and to Mars, but also for possibly on Gateway Station or on long deep space missions, you know, fill a starship up of science and put some robots on it and you're on your way. So definitely, I think a really amazing opportunity, some really neat ideas, but you can see all of this now for the last few years and for years to come is all pointing towards what can we do when we go to the moon and then go to Mars, and how can we live and grow plants. And it's really amazing. These were, I believe, basil we were seeing. No, those were peppers that they posted earlier this week of these peppers growing. And I mean, these look like totally normal pepper plants. And it's really just cool to see just that science. You know, this ISS has been up there for 20 years. And, you know, really the original science was, how do technology work? Communications, food, those type of things. And now we're getting into that long-term deeper space mission of, you know, what do hydroponics or growth, you know, gardens look like. And Sierra Space is working on a lot of those with the plans of their station. I'd like to point out on your screen on the right side, that is rain on the camera view of the Falcon 9. So it looks like it is heavy downpouring right now at the pad. There's quite a bit of water splashing on the screen there. Oh, and they just rolled back the clock and have gone into a 15-minute hold. So this weather is not good. They definitely are pulling it back. We were down to about the 8-minute mark. Let's listen in here.
News. I just heard from my producer that today's launch attempt has ended in a scrub. Let's head on over to Andy at SpaceX to get more details.
Okay, so they scrubbed it. Let's listen in.
Yeah, we did hear the launch director during that video package call hold to the countdown. It does look like, as Joshua mentioned, weather is not in our favor today. The vehicle, both Dragon and Falcon, remain healthy. We do have a backup opportunity tomorrow at 3:14 a.m. Eastern time, so join us then. I'm going to hand it back over to you, Megan.
Andy, thank you so much. So again, you just heard him say that today's launch attempt has ended in a scrub. So we have another attempt scheduled, as Andy just said, tomorrow at 3:14 a.m. Eastern time. Again, tomorrow, Sunday, August 29th, 3:14 a.m. Eastern time. Our launch coverage will begin here on NASA TV and the SpaceX webcast at 2:45 a.m. Eastern time. So I hope you set your alarms and join us here again tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.
And that's going to do it for them. They are wrapped up. They're done. The weather not looking good. So they are scrubbing today's mission. And the reason it's a scrub and not a, you know, he yelled hold. We know they can recycle Falcon 9 pretty easily, is because they're rendezvousing with the ISS. They have an instantaneous launch window. Sometimes they can get, you know, a second or two that they can adjust it. But it is pretty much down to those final, you know, milliseconds that they need to launch to be able to make sure Dragon can get to the ISS appropriately on time. And that is what they have done. But they've had to scrub it due to the weather. There's a thunderstorm right over the launch site right now. Yeah, we're going to pull up the weather here and give you guys just a look at the weather that is occurring over top of Kennedy Space Center right now, just to give you an idea of what they are looking at. We were looking at it earlier, and it was little cells, you know, but they're keeping an eye on it, and it's just not to the point of safety that they could launch here tonight. Now, they're not being impacted at all by the large storm and the hurricanes at all. This is just some local weather that they are experiencing here. So this radar is from AccuWeather.com, so you can pull that up. Obviously, you can see the two large storms, Hurricane Ida. You know, to anyone that is in, and I'm going to, you know, take a moment here. Anyone that is in Houston to Pensacola and then up type of thing, please watch your local news and track this storm. It is targeting now to look like it's going to be a Cat 4 or even possibly a Category 5 when it makes landfall. Kind of just west of New Orleans. So please watch this. This is a much possibly larger storm than we saw with Katrina. And it's actually going to make landfall exactly 16 years to the day of Katrina. So keep an eye on that. Be safe. If evacuating is what's better for you, do that. But stay safe and keep an eye on that. But we'll pull in here to the launch site, and you can see it right here. This is, let's see here. Here's the highway over Kennedy. Here's the pad. So they've got some weather kind of coming, hit and miss over it. But you have to remember, where's this rocket going to go? Well, it's going this way. So they need to make sure all this weather is safe as well as they continue their launch count and preparations, because it takes a little bit of time to get up there, and you can just see these cells. They're small cells, but they are strong, and that is what's ended up calling a hold to tonight's launch. So not something that's going to be occurring there, but Thomas, at least the scrub mission will be very clean for the next one. It's great. Yes, the rocket's good, the cargo dragon is good, so they're ready to go there. But scrubs are better than runs, and especially for this is a resupply mission. The crew on board definitely wants their food, but you can see right there over the pad. The pad's basically right here, and there's that cell right over top of the pad. So that's why they didn't continue with the count and just went into a recycle for the launch attempt here today, and they'll try it again tomorrow. We will. Our goal is to be here live for you guys as well, but if you're just joining us, take a moment, let us know where you're watching from. Hit the like and subscribe button. I know it's sad, but don't hit the dislike. Hit the like if you're enjoying our coverage, and keep an eye out. We have a big video coming out. I mean, it's a short video, but it's a big topic about the Russia's future in space. It just broke overnight. The video is filmed, and we're finishing it up, and it should be hopefully up in the next 30 to 45 minutes or so. So keep an eye out for that if you're still going to be up. If not, first thing in the morning. It's like 3 minutes. You're not going to want to miss it. Russia and Roscosmos made a massive announcement tonight about their future in space, and we're excited to share that with you and share a bunch of details about that future as well. So keep an eye out for that. But make sure you've subscribed so you know anytime we go live or post a space news update. Take a moment, since we're all going to be heading off a little early. Check out our GoFundMe and share it if you can. As we are going down for Starbase to start up our official countdown to the orbital flight test of Starship. We're going to kick off that kind of campaign of coverage live from Starbase. We'll be back in the studio, but then we will be back down there live in October or November, depending when that launch is, bringing that to you. But before we head down there, we're heading down to Inspiration 4 to watch the incredible Falcon 9 carry the Inspiration 4 crew on the first all-civilian mission to space. We want to thank Jared for inviting us and giving us just some incredible experiences that we're going to be bringing you guys along with us. We are going to have some really awesome daily vlogs, taking you behind the scenes and showing there. If you want to see things early as it happens, join our Discord, but take a moment, become a YouTube member or a Patreon member. The first tier of either of those gets you in our behind the scenes channel on Discord, and you'll get to see some of the stuff first. But if you donate on GoFundMe, you'll get access to our GoFundMe section, where you'll get to see some of the raw pictures and better footage first before it gets posted a few days after launch. So keep an eye out for that. But that's going to do it for us here tonight. We're going to wrap it up a little early. But keep sending in questions if you have them. We'll answer those in the comment section below. But for now, that is going to do it for us here tonight. Here at the launch pad, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow. And this was our short coverage of CRS-23, which was scrubbed here tonight. And hopefully we'll have a launch attempt tomorrow. But for now, this is Zach with the launch pad, signing off. Good night, everyone. Well, we're going to jump back on because a whole bunch of you are deciding to join now while we're ending. So, hello, everyone. Surprise, it's like a movie, after credits. We'll hang out, answer some questions, I guess, because there's a bunch of you joining us. So take a moment. Let us know in the chat where you're watching from. That'd be a great help. We'd love to hear that. And if you guys have questions, you can send those in and we'll be answering them live. It can be about space, SpaceX, Starship, Roscosmos, anything that you want. And we'll hang out for a few minutes and answer some of those questions. If you haven't yet, take a moment and join the Discord as well. The link is pinned there in the comments for you. But a whole bunch of you decided to jump on as we're ending. So I thought I'd come say hello. I know many of you might be new, and we want to welcome you. We want to welcome Bullet Force and Umsha. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I know I'm saying it wrong. For joining the Discord. Thanks for joining. If you want to join the Discord. Come hang out with us. Love to invite you to join our community there. Plus 50 after you ended. Yeah, I don't know how that worked, but y'all just decided, surprise, we're going to come after you end the stream. But we're glad that you're here. If you also have Twitter, you can follow us over on Twitter and take a moment and engage that subscribe button. We'd love to hear from you guys and have you follow us there. But take a moment and engage that subscribe button. As always, here on the Launchpad, you can send in your questions using hashtag AskTLP or at the Launchpad. But if you're looking for the launch is scrubbed. The weather's no good tonight. We'll pull that back up here as we were talking about a few minutes ago. But the weather not looking good over the pad and something that they just weren't going to risk. It's an instantaneous launch window. So they did have to, the moment they called hold, scrub for tonight as they are aiming to rendezvous with the International Space Station. And they have to be able to do that right on time and on cue. And with that weather, they were not going to be able to do that. So, yeah, take a moment. Let us know where you are watching from in the chat. We'd love to welcome you here and answer any questions that you guys have. Activate this radar here and get just an updated version of it here. See how it's progressed over top of the Cape Canaveral region. So you can see just those little cells passing perfectly over top of Cape Canaveral Space Force Station and Kennedy Space Center there. Just something that they're going to have to monitor, see what the weather's like for tomorrow. That's something we can pull up here and see what the weather will look like at that time here tomorrow. Give me just a second to pull that up. Give us an idea. Tomorrow's targeted launch time was 3, I believe they said 17 a.m. So we will be monitoring to see how the weather goes. We'll be waiting for a new update from the Space Force on a go, no-go for it. But if we patch in here, there we go, hourly view. This is for tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, a much smaller chance of rain. There is some thunderstorms that they think will happen about 2 hours after launch. So they'll be watching those to see if those progress any sooner. But definitely something that they'll be watching, as there is still a chance there for some rain in the morning. But it looks like it'll be fairly clear. Let's see, the winds will be good, only 9 miles per hour in the gusts. Cloud cover's 90%, so we might not have some that many good views of the rocket, but everything else looks like they'll be able to launch successfully tomorrow, as long as things do not change down in the Cape region there. As you can see, that weather passing through this evening. Gold, snowy Cape Town, South Africa. Well, welcome, Thin Dog. Good to have you here. Yamamagic. I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong. I'm going to call you Walker. Hi, I can't find anything about the announcement by Rush on the net. I'm curious now. I will wait your video. Sounds good. We'll be having that out here shortly and be getting that out for you guys as we're excited to share a little bit more about this big announcement from Roscosmos about their future of the just the entire Russian idea in space. Take some guesses in the comments what you think it might be. We're finishing up that video there, so if you want to jump in our Discord and go in behind the scenes, you can kind of catch the last little bit as we prepare to get that video up here in just the next hour or so. But a big announcement for the future of Roscosmos. If you watch some of our videos from before, you might have some hints to what it may be. So definitely one of those things. Stick around. We generally have been talking about things a little bit earlier. When will be launch? The launch is scrubbed for tonight. We should actually update the title here for it. It has been scrubbed. There we go. Angry that I'll wait your video. You can just okay. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, unfortunately, no launch here tonight. It is something that they've had a little bit too much weather in the region, so they've had to call a hold to that weather. We were looking on their screen, and we'll see if we can maybe pull it back up here. In the behind the screen of the guy while he was talking. Let's see, how's this gonna work? Let's try this. Here we go. This is like Inception. You think you're watching YouTube, but that's actually an old video. If you look behind him here on the screen, you can actually see their kind of countdown procedures, and we could see that this was 3 reds. At one point there was 4 reds on the screen, and you can see that 1 yellow mark as well. So it's definitely something that they were monitoring that weather, and they were not looking all too happy about it there. You can see them switching back and forth between the radar in the region. See if we can find where it was that 4th red there. But yeah, so it was not just one thing. It sounded like it was, at first it was the rain and the risk of lightning. Then it sounded like they had some other issues with like kind of their further down range. So it'll be exciting to see here. Super Crab, they'll probably throw something military related into space. Plastic Mug, a new giant space station would be great from Cosmos. You think they're going to do a new space station? They just sent up that new module and almost destroyed the ISS. So do you think they're going to do a new station? Be very interesting to see. But if you're just joining us, welcome. My name's Zach. I'm the host here at the launch pad. Here at the pad, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow. And we invite you to join our crew by engaging that subscribe button if you haven't yet. And join our Discord. The link is pinned in the chat there. It's totally free. Marcus is in there welcoming everybody. And if you join, we'll give you a shout out as well. But let's see. We're only a few away from hitting that 5,600 subscriber mark. So if we can do that, we would love to just welcome you to our crew. But there's not much more to talk about this evening. The mission has been scrubbed here tonight. So if you guys have questions, you can send those in the chat and we'll answer them. Or we might just call it an evening and get that new news update out about Roscosmos for you guys. But we're glad that you are popping in, saying hello, letting us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you and welcome you properly there. So you can take a moment, also hit the like button. There's almost 200 people watching and we're not even at 50 likes. I think we can do it. Japan, good stream. I'll be here tomorrow as well. Awesome. We're going to schedule that stream the moment we're off air. So you guys will be able to see that and hit get reminder for when we get ready there. I'm going to call you X because I have no idea how to say that. I'm sorry. But yes, launch is scrubbed. The weather in the region is just not not behaving here for us tonight, and it was a instantaneous launch window, so they were not able to put any sort of delay on the launch sequence. But they have a window tomorrow, and they're getting ready to. They need to get this one up and done. One, the station needs the food, but two, also they need to have Pad 39A clear so they can do final preparations for Inspiration 4, which is launching on September 15th. That is most likely going to be the next launch from Pad 39A. We are expecting Falcon 9 Starlink missions to begin again, starting a little bit later into September. We're really hoping maybe while we're down there we'll catch one just before we leave, possibly from Slick 40, or maybe we'll see some testing of something else. But most likely, if anything, we'll be lucky enough to maybe catch a Starlink. The reason it's been a 2-month delay between the last SpaceX mission, which was a transporter mission from Slick 40, was that they have been upgrading their Starlink satellites. So the last Starlink mission we saw, they completed their first shell of Starlink satellites, and in there they had included a few of them with lasers on them for communication. They really liked how those performed, and rather than launching a bunch of the current version and then upgrading and then eventually having to replace, they said, let's hold off, let's upgrade all of them now and just start that process. So they'll be ready by the end of September to resume that frequency we saw. But another thing that we've heard from Gwen Shotwell of SpaceX is they can't get liquid oxygen because of the fun situation we've all been going through for the last 18 months or 19 months now. They are not able to get liquid oxygen near like they used to. Orlando has actually put in a reduced water use order for the city because they're taking the liquid oxygen from the water treatment plant and putting it into the hospitals because that they can't even get enough liquid oxygen for the hospitals. So they're trying to make do, as they are currently having a really bad fourth wave there, but that is having impacts in many other industries, the water treatment industry, the space industry, and many others. So do your thing, stay safe, make your decisions, but let's try to keep each other safe as well. If you're just joining us, when is launch stagnating chief? Sorry, I said that wrong. Hey, Daniel, good to see you. When is launch? Launch is scrubbed. I probably should put it on our screen somehow. Let's do this. Let's put it on the screen here just until we wrap up for the evening. So y'all can know what's going on. And it's not going to be pretty, but it'll work. That's one of the overlays we don't have. Let's just do that. There. Scrub. Not perfect, but it works. But so we're just here answering a few last-minute questions. Uncle Pete watching from Cape Town, South Africa. We have done load sheeting and no light pollution. It's awesome to see the ISS pass over tape. That would be amazing, Uncle Pete. I would love to see that. Definitely on the list to get down there, hopefully in the future, and get down there to South Africa and see some of the launches that are happening down there. It's interesting seeing a couple of the African nations starting to get into the space industry as well, as it really becomes this next space race. And the Artemis Accords are really going to help bring a number of those nations together to be able to just push it forward. We have a large unofficial official guide to the Artemis Accords that will be coming out at the end of September. We were going to release that earlier, but once we had some ideas that we might be able to get some an awesome place at Kennedy to be filming, we knew we wanted to hold it off and film it down there. So it is ready. We're going to be filming that there, but that's going to be your full guide to everything Artemis Accords as well. The least formal space channel I've seen. Hey, sometimes screebed. Yeah, exactly. Hey, it's 2 a.m. where I am, and we're a little more fun then. If you're here bright and early in the morning, we're normally pretty crisp. But the rain is from the outer bands of the hurricane. No, these ones aren't. These are from just weather. The hurricane's is quite a bit further south. I mean, maybe they broke off, but they're pretty much not related. just moving in a similar direction, probably because of the storm, but they're not directly related, I don't believe. So where did the scrub sign go? We're getting ready to wrap it up. We appreciate you guys being in here. If you haven't yet, you can take a moment, send in a question, and we will answer that. And maybe we'll just leave up the radar, and we'll put Scrubbed on the screen again. And we'll be answering your chat in the comments there if you guys have any questions. You said Apple ? Am I on an Apple? Yes. I am on an Apple. But yeah, at this point, I think we're going to wrap it there. Take a moment, engage the subscribe button. It really does help us out. And we will be glad to answer those in the chat. But we will be live here tomorrow morning for another attempt of the launch of SpaceX CRS-23 to the International Space Station. But for now, we're going to leave the radar up here for a little bit and just let you guys listen to that and some tunes and answer those questions in the chat. But for now, that's going to do it for me. My name's Zach. This is the Launchpad. Thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow for the launch of SpaceX CRS-23. Stay with us.
jungle, an artificial paradise. Paradise, 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 paradise.